aweze kuchukua kazi ya Vice Chancellor wa kwanza wa chuo kikuu cha Embu. Huyo anavalishwa kofia rasmi ili aweze kuchukua nafasi.
26 masters, 14 PhD students, and continue to supervise and undertake research in agriculture, natural resource management fields. 4. As a member of the editorial board of the Agricultural Systems Journal. 5. As the chairman of the East African Network, AFNET, then, as a member of the board of the Bible Translation and Literacy Review Kenya. And 11, as the chairman of Cycle Industry. As is involved in professional consultant service.
Yes, we are categorically calling upon the CS ROTICH to step down, because if you look at the monetary policies, if you look at the policies he's bringing to this country, I don't think we are headed anywhere. And I wish to restate again that is it a coincidence that all senior officers in Treasury came from IMF? Is it a coincidence that Honorable ROTICH was a former employee of IMF? PS Duge worked with IMF. The Director General Budget is an employee of IMF. That the Governor Central Bank is a former employee of IMF. During President Kibaki's tenure, we were away from these things of World Bank and IMF. But all of a sudden, they have returned us back to the era of IMF and World Bank and the donations. We used to say very categorically to the President, we know he is a capable President, but it's the high time he cracked the whip if he wants to leave a legacy for this country. And lastly, the President has really lobbied this country behind the Big Four agenda. But if I look at the Big Four agenda as it's constituted today, it's a good agenda, but where is the policy? If we say we want to become an industrialized nation, where is the roadmap? Which industries are we building? We need deliverables. If we say we want to achieve food security in this country, where are the deliverables? How are we going to achieve food security? Because, if, for example, if we reminisce the Vision 2030, the Vision 2030 was very clear. It had a roadmap, how to be financed, and the deliverables that you can tell that Vision 2030 has been achieved 30% or 70%. But this Big Four agenda, if we say housing is a Big Four agenda, who's housing? Who are we building a house for? What is housing? Because we can go to all alleys and tell Kenya that housing is a Big Four agenda. Housing for who? It's that time that the leadership of this country answered these questions for us so that we can understand what are we financing. Because if we sit in Parliament today and pass a budget to finance housing, food security, industrialization, what is that? Where is the policy paper? 2018. But I wish to say this clearly, that one, the Parliament as it stands now might not be very effective in handling the problems of Kenyans. And I wish to say this with a lot of authority, because I've watched what happens during Parliament sittings. I watched the sugar debate. I looked at the finance bill. What is happening is that in Parliament of Kenya today, we have what we call predetermined debate. You come to Parliament, there is already a list of members who will contribute because they are known to support the position that and the outcome that is expected. We should say that we can't have such a Parliament. If in any case we need a Parliament that will sort the problems of Kenyans, the House leadership needs to sit down and liberalize Parliament, because we can't have a Parliament where to contribute you must say what is required to be said. We didn't go to Parliament to say what we are required to say. We went to Parliament to say what Kenyans want us to say. Secondly, I wish to say that as a country, we have gone on a borrowing spree that will really hurt this economy. And I think we have been held captive by IMF, because if I look at Treasury as it's constituted today, starting with the Cabinet Treasury, Honorable ROTICH, who is a former employee of IMF. If I look at PS Duge, is a former employee of IMF. If I look at the Director General Budget, is an employee of IMF. If I look at the Governor Central Bank, is a former employee of IMF. How can we have a treasury that is led by people whose loyalty lies with IMF? We wish to call upon the President and the leadership of this country that is high time that we restructure the treasury. Before we broke out from Parliament, we had a bill to take home or to impeach Honorable ROTICH. And I think the bill still remains. I think Honorable ROTICH has been unable. He has portrayed a lot of inefficiency in running the finances of this country, and it's high time. He does not require to be impeached. As a leader, he also knows that he has failed. Why can't he step down for the sake of this country?
And it is also my opinion that it is the high time that the CS for Treasury took responsibility over the leadership in his ministry, because it is crystal clear that we haven't been doing well from the Treasury headquarters. So I join those other leaders calling for his resignation and taking responsibility, so that we can have people who will lead the Treasury properly in this country. Yeah, we have the information that we will be resuming the House on Tuesday and on Thursday. And I don't want to preempt. Let us go to the House, discuss this matter. I don't want to say that the issue has been predetermined, because we will be in the House to discuss the matter on Tuesday and on Thursday.